All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Parasite the Maxim, episode 12.
And it's been getting a bit more intense along the broader strokes of the world,
Yes.
we say.
They are parasites grouping together, moving up in the world.
Going into politics.
Going into low-level politics for now. For now. The idea that's exciting about that is that they're seeking integration, but we don't know if they're seeking integration for the sake of domination.
Right.
Or something maybe a little bit more altruistic,
but
I guess we'll have
see the
to
need
see.
to practice killing humans to see how well they can fare against them in combat, so
yeah,
that's not as promising.
Now, to be fair though, they went after the Yakuza probably because they'd be the most threatening on a,
threatening without causing
a
large-scale disturbance if they go and massacre a bunch of them. Yeah.
Like, they didn't go after the army or something
right, yeah, because then,
Right.
Because a bunch of Yakuza getting killed, that could be potentially, just blown off as being gang warfare, whatever, but attacking a military base, less so.
What if, though, they ended up having it be a part of their political campaign where the Yakuza are just going to be less of a problem, when we're in office,
I think that might be a bit too on
I know,
the
that
nose.
may be a bit too on the nose, but I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll infiltrate even the Yakuza.
I don't know. Yeah,
a big
crazy
thing that happened with Shinichi, though, recently is that him and Murano are... They're working things out.
Yes.
Things have a little bit more of an understanding, although Murano still doesn't trust Shinichi fully.
Right, because, there's the little things that Shinichi does that seem off.
That end up being bigger than just, little things.
But then there's also this whole situation with Kana, because she's got her sexy dreams that are actually detailed plot stuff that she doesn't realize. And also the whole meeting with Shinichi, and now Shinichi has gotten the attention of the one that killed all the Yakuza.
Yes.
Because he decides to stare straight at the parasites with a concerned look on his face. It's truly a 200 IQ play. But now
it's worrisome.
Who knows
also,
what will happen?
It's worrisome also because in some ways this might have been their goal, is to attract other parasites, and it's what we've mentioned.
That would be
the
best case scenario.
And then they could end up making contact, and it end up being a thing of like, you're off. Like, you have a human.
Sure.
Are you a parasite or a human?
Well, and then they could also say, they have this test for parasites. Now they might... Well, no, I think they would know about it. Yeah, they know about it by now.
Sure.
But the whole thing of, since it didn't take your head, you can get past their detection.
Right. You can do all kinds of things for us.
So you should join us, kind of a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, he could also blow their cover, so there's a very strong possibility that it's actually something much worse. But, But there's possibilities.
There's options here.
It doesn't have to go badly.
We still got so many more episodes to go in terms of the story, so it can go a lot of places.
Yes.
So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone. Now make sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below, and then come back here on YouTube for the discussion. She's dead.
Yep.
Wow.
And here's the thing. It's not that she's dead, because that was going to happen eventually. Iggy was absolutely right. Yeah. And she should have died earlier in this episode, or she could have died earlier in this episode.
There are many times where she could have died before this.
Many times she could have died before this. The main thing that not upsets me, but it just is that we still don't know what exactly that was. Yeah. We don't know what the deal with her was. True. We don't know what the mystery was. We don't know why she could sense him, why she ended up emitting a signal of her own. Like did she just end up, wearing someone's coat that had, a faint, a trace hair of a parasite that managed to survive or something, and it got inside her system? We don't know.
Who knows?
Here's
something that might be kind of interesting, though. We could find out way later, though.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
What if this whole encounter here is one of the few times that they've gotten to analyze a parasite and a human that died basically in the same encounter? So, the parasite killing a human and stuff, and they've got the body there. So they actually took samples of both of them.
Oh.
So they noticed oh, there's actually something more going on here.
Yeah, depending on how good the forensics are, they could detect something about Kana, like if it's in her blood or whatever. Yeah, exactly, and be like, wait a minute, we've had plenty of other killings, and they were like this. So this person's different.
Right, so this was something where this was actually like 2.5 parasites, and
or 2.0,
they were maybe debating about how to handle Kana.
Right.
And one of them had a disagreement that led to killing the other.
Yep.
And then Kana was killed in the exchange or what have you.
But
I'm interested to get into the human side of things with these two guys that were at the end there, because I don't think they were a part of the school. I think they were a part of the FBI, the
investigative,
the high level government.
Right, they were the people that saw Shinichi and talked to his dad and whatnot. And I'm really glad that they didn't go for some sort of like bogus Speedwagon exposition of, well, if there were two and one was dead but it ripped the heart out, that seems like something that is a bit too, impassioned for these parasites. So clearly it was some kind of revenge killing, which means that Shinichi did it because he was there as well and he discovered it, and so he's some kind of new kind of parasite. I'm really glad that nothing like that happened.
Right.
But they did think about Shinichi. They're like, he was there. He's not, expressing much, and they're like, no. We took his hair. It's fine. Yeah, he's just. It's understandable. He went through all this stuff. He's dealing with it in his own way.
Yeah. I think if anything, what is more something that's kind of a perfect alibi for Shinichi is that they can just look at the text and the phone calls and realize they were seeing each other. There was a little bit of a little bit of a something going on.
Yeah,
and then there was a point where Shinichi called and she didn't pick up.
Right.
And at that point, she was already dead.
And especially if there was the whole thing written down on the wall, then it's like, this is where he went.
This is where they usually met.
Yeah,
yes, exactly. It all fits out rather well to having Shinichi remain hidden.
Yep.
But the big thing here is we've got now a world where you're bumping into these parasites now on the street quite casually.
Right, and now granted, they had a reason for that to happen with Kana because she would detect them and stuff.
I'm not talking about those ones there. I'm talking about just the Shinichi passing a random couple.
Sure.
And it's just, they're walking by. They have no goal. They're just walking. Like you can tell they're not doing anything like, we are going to go do a thing.
Right. It's just like,
they're just trying to blend in.
Right. It's just sort of this thing of like, yep, we'll just keep going, right? You're not going to cause trouble. I'm not going to cause trouble. Yep. We'll just,
Yep.
And I feel like it's one of those things where it's like you're walking down a hallway and then you're like about to run into somebody and you're like doing the thing, of like going around.
Sure. That's totally it. But the scary thing is just that's them integrating. And these are the kinds of people that would vote for a politician who is a parasite. You see where I'm going with this here? Is that the parasites seemingly are getting a little bit larger in number, and then they're also actually just living lives, which leads towards, again, the eventual question of integration versus domination or extermination.
Well, and also, it'll be way more likely to run into parasites. Like, if Shinichi really wanted to not, run into parasites and stuff like that, he'd go out into the boonies somewhere, right? If you're in a big city, the cities will have, way more people, as far as population density than,
He'd leave Japan.
Right, really exactly. Yeah. Like in the U.S., L.A. might have, 30 million people in the greater L.A. area or something like that. But then, that's more than, 10 states in more like the Midwest.
So,
but
the main problem with that is always still, a regular parasite would need to eat humans, and just as so, Shinichi still needs to eat regular food. But going out in the middle of nowhere would be perfect if he was able to then hunt game or something like that.
Well, or even just live in a small population town where the odds of a parasite being there would be so astronomically low.
Sure.
Whereas in a city, it's like I get the idea that there would probably be 5 to 10 parasites in a metropolis. And it's just, do they run into each other? They're out there, and because they can detect each other, if they're passing each other on the street, they'll know.
Right.
But they don't have any reason necessarily to interact.
Hey, that'd be a good reason for him to go back to that one town and bump into Maki and Uda again. Just end up going over there and having a quiet life with this, very wholesome girl and wholesome boy who's you know, half parasite like him as well. That would be a fun kind of full circle coming back to things. Miggy and him communicated, which I am so proud of. We got through all the potential melodrama in one episode with regards to that.
Right, but we also escalated things because now there's the knowledge that we are separate entities, and we might try and do things that the other person doesn't want.
Well, that's always been they've always known that about each other.
But the idea of, like, you know, when, like, with Miggy saying specifically, don't do this thing, I will have to kill her if she knows this would be a problem. And then Shinichi waiting for Miggy to be asleep, and then going and doing exactly that thing.
Right. Yeah. You know. But I think that was something that Miggy took as this is going to happen anyway. I'm just saying this so that he understands where I'm coming from, and we overtly communicate. One of my problems with stories that have a drama-centric focus and a character, like they really bank on their cast being the primary driver for the story, more so than I would say the plot or some kind of crazy premise. Now, this has the crazy premise and the characters, but Miggy and Shinichi are the perfect dynamic of the buddy, one of us, one of them kind of weird dynamic.
They just sort of are stuck with each other.
They're stuck with each other, exactly. But some of those duos don't communicate with each other. I have secrets because I'm so edgy. But in this case, it's like, no, we've got secrets, and we talk about them because we don't know what we're doing still. Even like, these two are so lost in how to figure out what to do in this world. And and the fact that they actually talk to each other, I love it.
Even down to Kana and Mitsuo. Like that was something where I was pleasantly surprised because I was like, wait, are they gonna have this guy be like the the generic edgy thug boy who's like, you're with this other guy, I don't like it, now that makes me, angsty and potentially violent or whatever. But
they actually for him.
Yeah, they actually talk about it. And it's like, hey, it's like him being like, that was harsh. It's like,
wow, I didn't know you hated me so much.
Yeah, exactly. And then like being fairly reasonable in this situation, and then she's like, yeah, sorry, this is how I feel. So, it's like,
and I don't know what to do. I'm confused. I have all this emotion going on within me. And then I empathize with her more because then I'm like, yeah, I totally get it, girl. Like
that'd be super confusing.
You guys are both in a really confusing situation. And
well, now it's just him.
Yeah. Okay. Rule of Cool handled so well. We have had the moment where it was the, Shinichi
throwing a rock from over 300 meters.
Well, right, but going way back to Mr. A, Shinichi, I'll handle the defense.
Oh yeah,
you need to basically
handle the offense.
Handle the offense.
Spigot him. Yeah.
And then instead, this is just Miggy handle the defense, and it's like. Oh, like even Miggy's like, okay, what are we doing? And then suddenly he just destroys the guy.
Yep.
Like yo.
Right.
He one shot him.
Because here's the thing. Here's the thing, and this is one of the reasons why I feel like the police could start to pick up on some things. Now they're just as out of their depth as a lot of the other people are, right?
Right.
But when people are looking at a crime scene, right, investigators and stuff, the forensics people, it's pretty usually easy to tell when it's a crime of passion, right? Like traditionally, because of just how it's done, there's...
Are you talking about sequence of events? Like action, reaction...
more of just
like the chaos of it.
The actual, like, if there's an actual killing, right? Was it something that seemed to be done like as like an accident kind of a thing? Was it a hateful murder? Or was it just like a hit? Right.
Right, like an execution.
Yeah, sure. Exactly.
So this would be basically the reactive.
Right. There was a lot more passion in this fight, in this killing, let's say, than there would be traditionally, I would think, with parasites. Because if you have the ones where the person's eaten with humans, right, then it's just complete destroyed body, right? And then if it's something where traditionally parasites would fight, you would think that it would be something with the blades, right? Because that's how they do things, right?
Well, but I don't think you can go that route there because they have so little info to go on. Again, I'm assuming they have so little info to go on, but based on what we've seen, they don't have that much info to go on based on like how parasites fight. Because how many probably logically do they even have in terms of like, oh, we've gotten a look at one or
sure.
two.
I mean, I suppose you could say that they don't know if the body is reinforced as well, but I'm pretty sure they know that it's not given that they were able to study a dead one. And okay, the body's human, but then there's this head thing, and hence the hair deal.
I like that angle.
So given that, the fact that the heart was actually ripped out, right? That's not something that's done with a bladed weapon. That's something that's done with some kind of grabbing instrument, most likely a hand, right? You know, because the heart wasn't stabbed or anything like that, right? It was actually ripped out. Right. So that means that it was probably not. Like, it's done in a different way than you would expect a parasite to kill another parasite. And the heart being ripped out as opposed to just destroyed, and I guess that goes into the same realm, but, you know, it's a difference.
It's a difference. Yeah. My thing that I find way more terrifying about the way this leads back to Shinichi is just
the name fact, on the...
No.
Okay.
The fact that there's going to be some forensic evidence of Shinichi being there, and if they're really smart about it, like the hair, you know, if they're really smart about it, they might, especially depending on how it landed or anything else, it'll end up being a thing of where it's like, well, yeah, he came there, obviously.
Right, and that's how he found the body.
That's how he found the body and stuff. But maybe they'll find it in a place where it shouldn't be, like inside the parasite's, you know, form. Like maybe there will be some little like shavings of fingernail or you know,
skin cells or
what have you, or maybe some teared clothing of his.
Oh sure,
you know,
if he punched, if he ripped out the heart, then that means his fist went through the rib cage.
Yeah,
which means that there could theoretically be skin cells on there now.
Yeah,
I don't know if they'd necessarily be able to get the skin cells in particular because all the blood would like make it go everywhere. But
sure,
yeah.
I'm going to assume that he's got out of this scot-free for now.
Yeah.
But I think that the cool repercussion of this being maybe they're going to be wondering about parasites differently because these two had a falling out.
Right.
Which means that the parasites aren't unified. They aren't some incoming military force looking to consume and destroy everything. They are they are their own species that have their own individuals, members with, you know,
and this
will,
coupled with how Shinichi was taken out on the top of the school.
Okay,
that's another situation where you have a parasite killing another parasite in the same proximity for Shinichi.
Oh,
so
I didn't even think about that.
That's another thing where it's like okay, and also done in a way that basically like. You know, that basically would cause the parasite to not be present or not be detected, right?
Right.
You know, because the parasite didn't go and kill, you know, Shinichi while he was in the school.
That is exciting. They could be evaluating a psych profile and connecting the two potentially and saying that there is a parasite out there that kills other parasites. But imagine if this ends up becoming, like it becomes this thing. So the police end up getting commandeered by government people, right?
And the government people end up having the mayor and whatnot
and
involved.
They have to coordinate with the mayor in order to let them know.
Yep.
It's like, there's a parasite out there. You guys know about those, right? You've been briefed. You have the special clearance. Okay. It's in this area based on where these killings are. But the thing is that it kills parasites. We need to find some way to contact it without, you know, it being safe. And then the mayor parasite's just like, this is a problem. How do we handle this? And then they analyze and they're like, okay, based on this, we should observe primarily, you know, and then like slowly gather information and make contact first, you know.
Right, because 2 occurrences for Shinichi, that can be explained, especially since it was something where he discovered the scene of the crime, right? So, you know, there you go, right? And being at school, it's like, okay. But if there ends up being a third, you can't get past that. Like, Like,
yeah.
Like,
I'm just excited to have the humans get involved in the plot like
Yeah.
that. That could be really exciting.
right. And because he was at the scene of the crime, if it gets to a point where they're wondering, like, if they're all connected, then Shinichi is a specific person they can go to, as opposed to being like it's someone, say, at the school or near the school or something like that.
Sure.
But yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, but they pulled out one of his hairs, which means he's cleared off the list,
Yep.
which is great, because in some ways that might last a long time, like a lot longer than it should.
Yep.
And we can end up with a Shinichi, is like not, not suspected at all kind of thing.
Yep.
And they suspect like everything else around. And that might end up to more drama surrounding how he has to then protect said people from,
Sure.
Yeah. from his own kind.
Yep.
So, y'all.
Oh boy.
This show knows how to escalate. And while I feel a little bit cold saying this,
You're glad Kana's dead?
I'm kinda I feel like Kana wasn't the best angle for this show in the long term.
Well, I feel like the thing about Kana is that because the most interesting thing about her character was the implications that all the senses and stuff gave for the world as a whole,
right?
Rather than her as a person.
Yeah.
It's something where, okay, her being out of the picture, I'm totally okay with that. And they did it in a really good way with having, her conversation with Mitsuo and then Mitsuo's confrontation with Shinichi later and all of that stuff. That was very good. That was good stuff. But yeah, I think she kind of outlived her usefulness. And the fact that they're leaving this mysterious thing still a mystery is something that I both love and hate, because it just it keeps that just in the back of my mind, wondering what it is.
Driving me mad.
Yep.
Okay, well, y'all, that's episode 12. Moving on into I believe the second half of this show. So, y'all, if you want to see the next episode's reaction right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length reactions there. And all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us about these stories, about anime in general. And you can also talk with Jacob about his sci-fi book.
Yep. My sci-fi novel, Battle Lines, is still available for order on Amazon. The link is in the description below, so go check it out. Leave a review. Let people know what you think. It's pretty great.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.